The Northwest Center offers credit, non-credit, and online instruction to residents in western Nueces County and beyond. Made possible through a partnership with the Corpus Christi Medical Center, this center expands educational opportunities for hundreds of students each semester. One of the many ways you can reach your goals at Del Mar now. I'm Amy Mintz, an Associate Professor of Child Development, Early Childhood at Del Mar College. Mario Flores, the program coordinator for off-campus programs at the Northwest Center, is here. He'll explain all the offerings at this facility. The Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. Rito Silva, will speak with us. He'll tell us about enrollment, registration, and some of the new things happening at Del Mar Now. Students in the radio and television program will present a Del Mar Now update. There's a lot to cover in the next half hour. Stay right there. This is Del Mar Now. Our first guest is the program coordinator for off-campus programs at Del Mar College, Northwest Center. He started working at Del Mar College in 2013. He holds a bachelor's degree from Texas A&M University, Kingsville, and just received his master's degree in adult higher education from the University of Houston, Victoria. Please welcome to Del Mar Now, Mario Flores. Hi, Mario. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, Amy.
Okay, so the Northwest Center, not a lot of people know about this other campus facility that is available to our community. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the courses that are offered out there?
The courses that we offer at Northwest Center can vary depending on the semester. This summer, as a matter of fact, we are hosting a lot of social science classes. Our social science classes range from sociology, biology, history, government. We do have college algebra. We have some CE classes as well. Certified nurse aide, phlebotomy, and EKG. And that's basically what we have right now.
Quite diverse, actually.
Yes, and then of course in our fall and spring semesters we do have adult literacy. Our adult literacy is kind of trying to go onto the same track as our fall and spring semesters, and we offer those from 9 a.m. to 12 noon and 6 to 9 p.m.
Okay. And I know Del Mar College is really dedicated to our community, and we want to make obtaining an education easy for our community. So we have campuses all over the area. And so this would be the campus out in Calallen area to appeal for Robstown students, Odom students as well too then. So they don't have as long of a commute into campus.
Exactly. And then we want to save money and still get those students educated without having to drive an extra 20 minutes over and 20 minutes back. We do understand that students work in town. I say in town. We are still Corpus Christi, so but the commute, if they're willing to come home from work, say if we work in town and just take a class in the evening, they can.
And are daytime classes offered there as well too, or is it just evening classes?
It's from
the whole spectrum.
Yes, the whole spectrum, all day long. Yes.
Okay. You mentioned some of the classes a little bit already, but tell us a little about those services that are offered at the Northwest Center.
Well, the services we offer there, of course, our adult literacy program, GED program. We also have the Small Business Development Center that's housed there with Celia Garza. She is the rural program manager out there, and anybody can come in if they're wanting to start a business, whether government contracts or anything like that. That's a first place that you would need to go, and it's free. And she does a great job out there in providing that service.
And we have a lot of people who want to be entrepreneurs in this community and just probably need to, where do I get started? How do I do this? And so that would be a great resource and to tap into.
Yes.
For sure. So, the Northwest Center, tell us a little bit about how that's affecting the Northwest community.
I would say with the convenience that it being out there, Northwest Center, we have a friendly staff. We are a one-stop shop for Del Mar College if they're wanting to do that sort of thing. As far as registration goes, we can't register them. We can't accept monies, things of that nature, but we can advise them what they're needing to do in order to start. A lot of times students will be a little bit hesitant and coming to the east or west campus, and they see Del Mar College right down the street, and they say, hey, let me ask some questions, and we're there to help them and let them know that it's the first part for a student that trying to cross that bridge in order to start, and we want them to just start, and asking those questions gets the ball rolling, starting with applied Texas, getting their FAFSA, things of that nature, and we can assist them with those things.
So you bring up a good point, though, that this Northwest Center is mostly for the housing of the classes, but the financial aid office would not be out there.
No,
the student enrollment center not out there. No. The business office, veterans centers. So they would still need to come to the main campus if they wanted to utilize some of these services. So. That might just be 1 or 2 times a semester, but the majority of the time they would be at this Northwest Center, which would probably be closer to their home base. Yes,
and a lot of times we have students that are at East and West Campus just wanting to print a paper out instead of having to drive in to East or West Campus and just come in, use our facilities and print out their information and before they go to class or even study for a little while, things of that nature.
So tell us a little bit about some of the other facilities that are offered. Obviously, there's classrooms out there, but are there other student resources on the Northwest Center?
In a realm of at Northwest Center, I can tell you from top to bottom, we have a biology chemistry lab, a certified nurse aid lab, which also houses our phlebotomy and EKG. We have a computer lab of about 20 computers. We have some computers in the lobby that are accessed by students. Also an anatomy physiology, and 2 other classrooms, but it's 7 classrooms all in all, and they double as classrooms and labs as well.
So you've got laboratories and technology available to students on this campus.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, what's the reception been for the Northwest Center by the local community? Events, special welcomings?
We've had some events. We've had some fall kickoffs, some blood drives, just to get the community, let them know that we're there. A lot of times, if you're not wanting to go to school or anything like that, you don't look in that direction, or you're not asking for Del Mar College, but they know that we're there. So when I go out into the community, I let them know, hey, if you know of anybody that's wanting to attend Del Mar College, just have them stop by and we can answer some questions.
And you mentioned credit classes, but also continuing ed classes that are out there as well in the Northwest Center. And that would seem like it would really appeal for people who just want that personal enrichment. Maybe they're not really ready for college life all the way, but they want to dabble a little bit with personal enrichment. So some of those are offered out there as well? Yes,
we have photography classes, intermediate and beginning. We do offer a senior computer class for beginners, intermediates as well. Sometimes he'll go off and help them out with their cell phones if they're needing that. We do offer our EKG, phlebotomy, and certified nurse aid for high school students and for the regular population.
Okay. What about the future growth of the Northwest Center? Any big plans scheduled, or do you know of where this area is growing into?
It's growing, and you see if you drive down 77 or even 37, you see some new affordable housing projects going on for those families that are needing the assistance or wanting to move into a community that's growing. You see the Robstown outlets. I would say the outlets of Corpus Christi Bay in Robstown, and that's convenient as well. And here, there, you'll see some growth, new businesses popping up here, there as well. I am also a board member for the Northwest Business Association, which I've been invited as part of Del Mar College, being the educational side of the
So this area of the community is really growing, so the Northwest Center will probably explode with student population.
We're hoping. We're hoping, and of course it would have to go through the board and all that good stuff. But we're trying to fill in those gaps throughout the day, whether it be summer, fall, or spring. We do have our dual credit students out there from several high schools as well from the area.
Well, if someone wants to register for classes out there or find out what classes are being offered, who should they reach out to?
They can reach out to our Del Mar phone numbers, 698-2450.
Okay, well, we'll make sure we get those numbers across the screen for those viewers. Well, thanks for chatting with us today.
No, thank you, Amy.
Students in the radio and television program are next with the Del Mar Now update. When we return, we'll meet you with Del Mar College Vice President for Student Affairs. So don't go away.
What does it take to go from entry level to management material, or from the day-to-day to paving your own way? What does it take to go from "how will I ever get there" to "look how far I've come"? It takes a Viking. Advance your career and continue your education at Del Mar College. Dreams delivered.
Pull to the right. Motorists who fail to pull to the right make roads difficult for emergency vehicles to get through and possibly on to save lives and property. Remember, if you see an emergency vehicle approaching, the correct thing to do is remain calm and safely pull to the right.
Are you a former military service member looking to start a new career? If so, Del Mar College can help you enter the trucking industry at little or no cost to you. A grant from the Texas Workforce Commission pays the tuition for former service members to earn a Class A commercial driver's license at Del Mar College. Truck driver training takes just 4 weeks of daytime classes or 10 weeks of evening classes. To learn more about the Skills for Transition program, contact Del Mar College's Veteran Services Office at 361-698-1683 or email egoodrow@delmar.edu.
Welcome to this edition of Del Mar Now Update. I'm Cecily Ensley.
And I'm Ashley Sargent.
Registration for summer semesters and the fall semester has begun at Del Mar College. Valdar the Viking has been doing his part in encouraging students to register early. The college's mascot has appeared at several rallies on Del Mar's east and west campuses. During the rallies, participants have been able to learn more about admissions, financial aid, and student resources at Del Mar. On-site admissions and assistance with completing documentation has also been available to students. Registration will be ongoing until mid-August. Classes for Summer Session 1 starts May 29th, Summer Session 2 begins July 9th, and the fall semester begins August 27th. A $500,000 grant will allow a local hospital system to train employees to meet its growth. Christus Spohn Health System plans to add 500 registered nurses to address its growth. A grant of $500,000 from the Texas Workforce Commission Skills Development Fund and the Del Mar College Corporate Services will help meet the need. Christus Spohn has a targeted training program for 531 emergency room technicians, vocational nurses, RNs, nurse leaders, and RN coordinators. The grant was awarded to Christus Spohn on April 11th. Del Mar's Corporate Services will help Christus Spohn implement its Pathways to Excellence program. The goal is to have nurses work at their highest level of licensure. As an example, an RN with an associate's degree of nursing will spend time assessing patient needs, monitoring systems, along with recommending care plans. The Corporate Services training will continue through November of this year.
The week of April 29th to May 5th marks the National Business Week. This is the 55th annual celebration. Del Mar College's Small Business Development Center is marking the week by honoring several individuals. A recognition ceremony titled Entrepreneur Night and Small Business Awards highlights the week. Several partners with the Small Business Development Center are involved to inform small business owners and other entrepreneurial-minded individuals of resources available. Awards are being given included San Marin Laundry Company as the Corpus Christi Branch Office Small Business of the Year, James Jones from Del Mar College Small Business Development as Advisor of the Year, Robert Cantwell from SCORE as the Mentor of the Year. For more information about the Small Business Development Center, go online to www.delmar.edu/SBDC. A multimedia presentation at Del Mar College highlighted what is termed climate change. Combining music, art, science, and photographs made up a performance in Richardson Performance Hall on April 24th. Climate physicist Robert Davies and the Fry Street Quartet collaborated in the presentation. The Crossroads Project, as the collaboration is titled, combines lecture and music. Davies says that the 75% of the world's fisheries are in some state of collapse. The 75-minute project includes music by Haydn, Laura Kaminsky, and Janacek. The large screen projections include art by Rebecca Allen and photographs by Garth Lenz. More information is available at www.thecrossroadsproject.org.
Emotional episodes in the lives of young children may cause a great amount of anxiety. The situation may be a house fire, a tornado, or even a hurricane. The American Red Cross provides some emotional relief by giving children stuffed animals. Del Mar College early childhood majors donated 580 soft stuffed toys to the Coastal Bend, Texas chapter of the Red Cross in early April. This was the 9th annual Teddy Bear Drive for the students. Associate Professor of Child Development Benita Flores Munoz says this year's drive was all the more meaningful for students with Hurricane Harvey's destructive path last year.
A family-friendly event was held on the campus of Del Mar College to raise awareness of STEM careers. The student chapters of the Society for Advancement of Chicanos, Hispanics, and Native Americans in Science, along with Texas A&M University, sponsored the event. Science Saturday featured science demos, booths, and displays with hands-on activities. There were also tours of Del Mar facilities and a chance to visit with local scientists. The event was designed to expose Coastal Bend youth to consider careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Both educational institutions encourage students to attain advanced degrees, careers, and positions of leadership in STEM.
That has been this edition of Del Mar Now Update. I'm Cecily Ensley.
And I'm Ashley Sargent. Stay tuned for more Del Mar Now.
Attention Coastal Bend military veterans. If you're thinking about pursuing a college education or resuming your studies and you don't feel like you're college ready, Del Mar College may be able to help. Through a grant from the U.S. Department of Education, we've launched the Veterans Upward Bound program to help veterans just like you navigate the process of going back to school. All services are free to qualifying veterans. For more information, call the Veterans Upward Bound program at 361-698-2643 or go to our Facebook page at Del Mar College Veterans Upward Bound.
What does it take to join a leading workforce training center, helping new industry meet new demand, where higher education is affordable, no matter the situation? What does it take to go from, how can I afford this, to how can I afford not to? It takes a Viking. Del Mar College. Dreams delivered.
For more information about Del Mar Now, log on to www.delmar.edu/now. If you have questions, comments, or suggestions to help us improve Del Mar Now, send an email to now@delmar.edu.
Our next guest is the Vice President for Student Affairs at Del Mar College. He joined Del Mar College in the fall of 2015. He holds a bachelor's degree in business administration from Texas A&I University, Kingsville, a master's in guidance and counseling from Texas A&M University, Kingsville, and a doctorate in human resource development from Texas A&M University. Please welcome back to Del Mar Now, Dr. Rito Silva. Hi, Dr. Silva. Thanks for being with us today.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here.
Okay, on campus, there's a lot of buzz and talk about Civitas. Can you tell us a
Sure.
little bit about Civitas and how that's helping Del Mar College?
Sure, okay. Well, Civitas is a new platform. It is taking the nation by craze, really, in higher ed. It's a predictive analytics. And so what it does, there's two things that it does for us. One, it can look at students' past performances compared to hundreds of variables that they have researched, and be able to tell students that might persist and those who might not persist. And so we can use that to be able to reach out and offer our services. The second thing it does also, it's live data. So it has filters. So in other words, right now I could go to my computer. So if I want to select, let's say, Hispanic males with a GPA between 2.0 and 2.5 for whatever reason, I could go do that, and with a couple of clicks of the mouse, I can go ahead and find out the students, and then I can also just export that to my Excel spreadsheet and send them all the notes. So I could get all that done within 10, 15 minutes. So the availability of it being able to have live data like that and be able to be so strategic in our messaging, it's really important. And something to know about Civitas is that, you know, not any school can just say, I'm going to go buy that product. They're very particular about who they let into their Civitas family. So you have to be invited in. So Del Mar College has a really good reputation of its uses of using of data. And actually, Dr. Escamilla has a really good reputation in higher ed in general. So because of the school and Dr. Escamilla, we got to get in the front of the line, and we became a Civitas school about 15, 16 months ago. So we're really still relatively new. They have several different products, but that's one. We have a product called Illume right now. That's what we're using. And Amy, you were asking me about how we're using it right now to help our students. Well, we were using it for our graduation program. We have graduation coaches. And so what they were able to do is they were able to go in there and look at students who are 75% complete in their programs and target those students and be able to reach out to them.
Give them that little push to help them finish.
Yeah, we actually call it as a nudge campaign.
So
we have nudge campaigns going on. And so we called students and said, you know, our records indicate that you might be completed with your certificate or associate degree. And we'll send them a graduation application, a PDF attachment, or we'll invite them to come in, have one-to-one with our graduation coaches. So it's seen remarkable gains. From 2016 to 2017, we actually saw almost a 31% increase in our graduates. And you know, you and I were talking right before the cameras turned on. One of the things that we kind of think is when students are that much along in their programs, they're 75% complete in the programs, there's a fallacy that they know what they're doing, just leave them alone, they'll graduate. But like you mentioned, sometimes they need a little nudge. They need to be brought in and said, you know, stop taking classes you don't need. Maybe you only need this class or that class. You as a faculty member, advisor, you know how important it is. Because we want students to graduate quickly and with as little debt as possible.
Yes.
And so Civitas allows us to be very strategic in how we do that. And so we're really excited about it. There's other programs we're going to do later on, and maybe we could come back and do another segment on Civitas. I could speak on Civitas for an hour because it's really exciting. It's really cutting edge, and Del Mar College really has received some recognition for this work with Civitas, and it should. The college is doing some really good work with it. And again, it's cutting edge technology, so we're pretty excited about that.
It sounds like it's going to really help those students be successful. And another thing that's helping students be successful are those year-round Pell grants that are back.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about you know, Pell grants and who's eligible for this money?
Well, and we're really excited about the year-round Pell coming back. It was a few years ago. We had it for a little bit, and then it went away. But students who go to school full-time in the fall and go full-time in the spring would have to sit out in the summer
Which is a bummer.
Yeah, it is.
Especially when they're ready to go.
They are, you know, and we want them to continue their program. So usually they either have to sit out in the summer or they have to pay for it out of pocket. And so now with the year-round Pell, students are eligible fall, spring, and they come back in the summer. So again, what we're doing is reaching out to those students as well and said, you know, you have this much money available. You have to take at least 6 hours in the summer to be eligible. So we have any students out there, you went to school fall and spring, you're thinking, I didn't get financial aid last year. Well, it's different now. So we have been making phone calls, we've been emailing them, we've been trying to do everything but going door to door.
Well, I've even had some students say they got a text message.
Yes,
you know, saying you have money available for the summertime.
We have texting them. And that's what we're doing. We're saying, you know, Rito Silva, you have, you know, X amount of money waiting for you in the summer. Come register for classes. And so we're encouraging students to go ahead and do that because, again, going back to, we want students to complete with less debt. And this way they can finish their programs quicker. And we want them to take out as little loans as possible. Because again, we're talking about Pell grants, and this is free money that you don't have to pay back to anybody.
Kind of money.
So yeah, that's the best kind of money. You're right, Amy. And so we really are encouraging students to come in the summer and don't take the summer off. Come and get some classes, and again, you have to take at least 6 hours to be eligible for your financial aid for your summer financial aid for Pell grants.
So you mentioned, you know, we want our students to be successful and with as little debt as possible. Go ahead and graduate. Talk about how Hurricane Harvey has affected our community. Has it affected student funds for tuition? Has it
Sure.
affected student enrollment?
It
And what's
did.
the college doing
and
to help?
And that's a wonderful question, because some of us who are fortunate not to be affected by Harvey so much, we kind of think, oh, that was a few months ago. We don't think about it no more. But our students still live with the effects of Harvey today. And yes, we have had students who dropped out because of Harvey. And it's interesting because we have a new enrollment management team that's really composed of our executive vice president and our deans, and they're doing a wonderful job being innovative on enrollment management. And so we made some changes on paying a little bit early and stopping registration a little bit early. So it's really innovative changes that they did. But you will see, if you track it, the day before we stopped for Harvey, we were up 5%. In enrollment. So we're doing really well. And then Harvey hit, and then you see the decline. And we actually ended up that semester being 4% under. And we do have students that actually try to come back, because we actually, as you remember, we postponed the start of the semester for a little bit. And even had some flex classes where students could take the class a little bit later. But we had students who tried, and they came back and they told us, you know what, I tried to manage my life from the effects of Harvey and school the same semester, the same time, and I just can't do it.
Yes.
And they came and talked to us and asked us for a refund for that one semester. We, it's not our policy, but sometimes you have to be humane about this. And so we just said, we understand, take care of what you need to come back. So we still have students who are affected by Harvey. Fortunately, our foundation has received the grants, received a few grants. I know recently they received a grant for about $95,000. And we're reaching out to some of the students who are affected by grants, and affected by Harvey. And they can apply for the Harvey relief grants, scholarships. And it will allow them to pay for schools and for some other costs and expenses. So we encourage students that are affected by Harvey to reach out to the foundation. Mary McQueen and her team there do a wonderful job, and we want them to not give up on their dream of getting an education.
Is this money still available right
now? It's still
for
available.
This upcoming fall semester?
It's available for the summer. It's available for the fall. So
Okay.
we really encourage students to come get a hold of the foundation over at the CED, and or contact us in Student Affairs. We'll be more than happy to help you. I think I'll leave my information here at the end. But yeah, those funds are still available.
Well, and registration is open for summer and for fall, so they need to get moving with those phone calls
That's
in order
correct.
to get going with
Sure.
these classes.
And we want students to register early, because when you register, you get the classes you want, you get the
Yes.
instructors you want, and so we want to encourage early registration.
Okay, what are those phone numbers so students can reach out and ask these questions?
Okay, well, I know they could go ahead and call 698-2250, and we can transfer them to the appropriate departments.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for being with us and sharing this great information and
Thank you.
free money.
Oh yeah, there's nothing better than the free money, like you said.
If you have questions or comments about Del Mar Now, send an email to now@delmar.edu. We'll be back with our summer show in July. Until then, I'm Amy Mintz for Del Mar Now. Thanks for watching.